This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Ready to go, Alain Poupart. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report. There you go. And that Montreal Expos hat. Yeah, baby.
The whole deal.
Yeah. We're in New York, by the way, just so you'll know.
Yep.
I don't know if you know that. We're here. As you can see, the Slomin shield behind me.
What are you doing in New York?
Huh?
What are you doing in New York?
I'm visiting our sponsor, Slomin
there,
Shield.
There
They
you go.
invited us up here to do a couple of shows. So today and tomorrow, we'll be doing shows out here. So having some fun.
I like it.
Yeah, man. Taking care of us. Great company. You know that the entire family that owns Slomin's, they're all Dolphin fans.
Nice.
How about that? That's good
Very
stuff.
nice.
So,
let's give them some good stuff.
Yes, definitely. And make sure you all call Slomin's Dolphin fans. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. Make sure you mention our show too. Okay. We do have a link below on our YouTube page. You can check it out. All right. So how you feeling about this staff now that they added Sammy Madison?
I am.
Yeah, baby.
Like that one.
There'll be a lot of screaming out there, going. Now, I wonder how he is as a coach, because as a player, he wouldn't shut up, bro. I mean, he was a trip because it was yapping the whole time. And then you'd hear Jason Taylor at one moment, shut up already, leave us alone, that kind of stuff. It was awesome. I mean, Sammy was just a great guy to cover. God, I love that guy. He's so
No, he's a great guy. The only problem with covering him, and you didn't have to deal with that because you're in the radio business. For us writers, would be transcribing the interviews. Because yes, the man has the gift of gab, no question. No, yes. And I talked to him at the Super Bowl Media Day a couple of years ago when it was here, and his first year with the Chiefs, where he won his second Super Bowl ring because he got one with the Giants in 2007. And it's still the same Sam. And the thing you're going to know about him is, I mean, he's going to be energetic as a coach. He's one of those. He's going to be like, I mean, on the go, nonstop. And then if you look at the KC defensive backs the last 3 years, which is what he coached, I mean, their defense obviously takes a major backseat to that offense with Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, and Tyreek Hill. But the defense had its moments, even though you look at most of the best players on that defense are up front, except for maybe Matthew.
Guys,
except for Matthew at safety. I like the hire. And I like, while I'm not sure that there's one hire on the offensive side that really what goes, wow, that's an awesome.
Oh, I love Bevel as a QB coach.
What I was going to say is I like the totality and the complementary way it's put together. I really like that. Like you got, for example, your OC Frank Smith, who can help out the new O-line coach Matt Applebaum,
right?
With the run game and with the O-line.
That's McDaniel planning ahead, because if he loses Frank in the future, Applebaum will be the guy that replaces him. So there's a method behind the madness as he's developing this staff. He's using a little foresight. At least that's what I think is happening. Your thoughts?
I think it's more of like getting guys, more than one guy, for example, not having just the O-line coach and the assistant O-line coach working the O-line, but now you bring in the OC now to work with the passing game. You have Darrell Bevel, and Frank Smith's going to be a part of that as well. So I think
Mike McDaniel will be a part of that also.
Well, he'll be a part of everything. I like that aspect of it. And Wes Welker obviously is a good hire too, because he was a technician as a wide receiver. The dude didn't put up the numbers he did because of his great physical skills. I mean, he was quick, but he wasn't fast and he wasn't big. But the dude ran great routes, was always open. So, no, I think he's done a solid job.
Yeah, I like what that. And I think you phrased it right. It's the way it's constructed that it looks like it's like one piece supports another, which supports another, which supports another. And here's the other thing, that he walks the walk that he talks, because he said a great play caller relies on everyone around him.
Correct.
And if you notice, it's like a dual title thing that everybody has. You have this position, but then you're also part of the passing coordinator, run coordinator, whatever. So there's a collaboration, and it seems like he wants that collaboration from all over. He wants voices opinionated and giving their input on all of that. I like that a lot. Do you see the same thing I'm seeing there?
Oh yeah, no question. And I could see like guys sitting down to formulate the game plan. It'll be Mike McDaniel, Darrell Bevel, Frank Smith, John Embry, and maybe even Eric Studesville could be involved as well.
That's right.
It's going to be a whole deal of collaboration. And then obviously, ultimately, McDaniel is going to be the one to decide what goes and what doesn't go. But again, there'll be a lot of ideas thrown around, and I don't see how that's a bad thing necessarily.
By the way, did you see the video from Brian Baldinger that he put together of Mike McDaniel 2 years ago and all the different blocking schemes and how just the scheme alone, how it was fooling the hell out of the defense and players were completely out of it. It had nothing to do with the players themselves.
Yeah.
It helped the players, actually, the way he designed things. Did you watch that video?
I can't say I did. I just know, like, I mean,
I'm going to send it to you.
Go ahead. But his reputation as a very innovative guy in terms of schemes is very well established. The thing with that, I mean, and I don't want to get like overly carried away because, again, I'm a writer. I'm going to do the research and the stats. Like for all the innovation and all that, it's not like San Francisco was heads and shoulders above every other team in the NFL in terms of what they did with the running game. But again, chances are anything is going to be a major step up for what this Dolphins team has done with the running game the last several years. So, and that alone is going to make the offense overall much better, or logically should make the offense much better.
I'm with you there. By the way, I just sent you the video there. You have it there. It's just a phenomenal video, dude. It really is. It's just a great video that every Dolphin fan, I think, should see. I think every Dolphin writer should also see it because you're probably going to see some of those elements, part of this running game. And I just thought it was really, really creative. And the best part about that video, it's 2 years old. So it's not some kind of propaganda that was put together now. Not that Brian, anyways, Baldy wouldn't even ever do stuff like that anyways. That's not his style. He's going to call things like he sees it. But I just thought of it, and I said, that's a pretty damn good video. What do you know about Chandler Henley, by the way?
I know he played with Mike McDaniel at Yale.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's not a whole lot to know, to be honest. I mean, he had,
right.
If I read his resume correctly, a couple of stints as a QC coach, and then he was the assistant O-line coach with the Falcons last year. He's being brought on to be assistant QB coach, and he was a wide receiver at Yale. So
I forgot which one of you guys wrote it, but apparently he and McDaniel watched the most film in together and on the team at Yale or something. I don't know. Something like that. Somebody. I don't know if it was you or somebody wrote it because I read several articles on it. All right. How about Tyrone McKenzie? Do you any nuggets on the outside linebacker? Ian Rappaport had some complimentary stuff to say about up and coming smart coach.
Correct. And there was with the Titans a few years ago, and there was like a video clip that's made the rounds where he's basically they're practicing tackling. And he's basically volunteering to put himself in front of a mat and let the guys drill into him. So that's interesting. Thing I didn't know about him is, and he put it out there on YouTube, that he was diagnosed with cancer while he was with the Lions in October 2019. Basically on a Friday, like all of a sudden feeling a lump in his stomach, went to the hospital, get it checked out, and a little while later he's getting an operation to get the thing removed. And by all accounts, everything was removed, so that's obviously great news. So no, and he was a third-round pick of the Patriots, so the dude could play a little bit out of the University of South Florida. And then as I read, he like blew out his knee very early in his, I think in like mini camp of his rookie year with the Patriots. Never stuck with them, and had a cup of coffee. I think he had played 19 games. But again, another guy who is seen as an up-and-comer in the coaching ranks.
Yeah. So far it looks like the staff is coming close to being complete. What are you expecting on the free agency side for the Miami Dolphins? What players do you think will not return in 2022?
Oh, okay. Interesting way of phrasing. Okay. Albert Wilson's the one that really jumps out. He's a free agent. I know you'll be crushed, but big O.
It's a year too late, but that's all right. I mean,
I know.
What can I tell you?
Jakeem Graham won't be back. Oh, wait a second. He's already gone. Sorry. Bring me.
Yeah, he's already gone to the Pro Bowl.
There you go. I set you up there. To me, I'd say Mike Gesicki is on the lower end of 50-50 to come back, to be very honest. I think they're going to let him walk. I think Ogba's a must-keep, particularly since they're retaining Josh Boyer as DC, which basically means they're going to play the same defense. They absolutely need Emmanuel Ogba. I'm looking at Mac Hollins. I would think the Dolphins would make a severe effort to bring him back because of everything.
Please, love Mac Hollins.
Oh, I know you do.
Love Mac Hollins, bro. I mean, that guy can take a 4th and 5th wide receiver spot on almost any team because he's a two-way player, dude. It's hard to find those kind of guys.
No question. No, it's funny you mention that because I'm halfway through a story breaking down all of the Dolphins' pending free agents along with the likelihood they'll come back, which will be up on alldolphins.com sometime.
I have a spy bot on your laptop, so I know everything you're working on. That's why I asked.
Okay, cool. You're mirroring my laptop. Okay, cool. Here's the thing, though. Dolphins have it's 17 pending UFAs, and outside of Ogba and Gesicki, unless somebody is escaping me right now, they're not really major players. I mean, Duke Johnson, I think that's a guy they should bring back.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine he'll be able to break the bank if he shops his services. So I would think he's going to tell Drew Rosenhaus, his agent, try to make it work with the Dolphins. So I would think I would see him coming back. Philip Lindsay, on the other hand, I'm not sure he'd be a major priority. And then
although we have Ben Albright on last Sunday, and he made a good point. Philip does fit that zone scheme perfectly. He's actually a good fit for it. So that might be good competition to bring in for camp. I don't know. Again,
even though Duke Johnson logically wouldn't break the bank, if you start re-signing free agents at some point, I don't know how cost effective it's going to be.
Right. That's true.
And then in terms of RFAs, the one guy who stands out is Nick Needham. I would highly suspect the Dolphins are going to tender him to make sure they hang on to him because I like the guy and he can do a couple of different things. It'd be a bad move for me to see them not retain him.
Yeah, but he's restricted, not unrestricted. So at least, what is it? You have first right of refusal or something like that, right?
It depends on the amount of the tender you put. They could do right of first refusal, or there's another tender, depending on how much. It could be like the first round pick, which they're not going to do because that'd be too much. Then there's also the original Ronnie was drafted while he was a UDFA. So I would suspect he'd be a guy that maybe the Dolphins re-sign before March 16th hits.
Yeah, I would hope so. Let's see if that does end up happening. Do you expect them to be big players in free agency and especially in the offensive line? Because I'm hoping that they get Ryan Jensen from the Tampa Bay Bucks. Since Brady's gone, the exodus will begin in Tampa. Go get their center.
Yeah, the only problem with that, as we discussed Monday, is I think the Bucks are still going to make a push to be major players in terms of the race for the Super Bowl. So does Ryan Jensen want to leave the Bucks if they make him a reasonable offer? The other problem with Ryan Jensen, as I see it, he's 31 years old and made, I think his base salary, I just looked at it, was like $10 million last year.
Mm-hmm. Good player, man.
No question about it. Pro Bowl player. I mean, no question. I would think Laken Tomlinson, the guard from the 49ers, if he hits the market, I would think, especially with Mike McDaniel having familiarity with him, he'd be all over that.
Left guard.
Yes, sir.
But you think about it, if you can get him at left guard and you can get Ryan at center, then things start to balance out a little bit more there now all of a sudden, because Hunt at right guard, and I think Eichenberg can play, but maybe you put him at right tackle. So what about this whole Tunsil thing? Well, what do you hear there? Is there any truth to this that they would be willing to move Tunsil?
The Texans would be willing to move. Yeah, I certainly could see that to get out from under his contract. But again, now, good luck for them trying to find somebody to take on that contract, because now it's 2 years removed from when the Dolphins.
Well, you don't have to give the bonus, so it's really not a bad contract for anybody that trades for him, correct? Because the bonus gets accelerated for them, not
correct for the Texans. But I think the bases are still. I'll have to double check his contract. but now it's 3 years since the Dolphins traded him, or 3 seasons since the Dolphins traded him. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I can definitely see the Texans wanting to maybe move on from him, especially after last year when he barely played. The other question I would have with the Dolphins is I could definitely see them going or signing one free agent offensive lineman to a big contract. I'm not sure about 2. And as you and I have both talked, I think some of it is going to be internal in terms of improving the offensive line of like, let's get these guys coached up the right way. Let's develop them. And then let's get the offensive line better that way. Because, again, there's no way to me that all of those guys were busts as high draft picks. I'm not buying it.
Are you ready for this?
Poor development, poor coaching. Go for it.
17.8, bro.
What's 17.8?
Tunsil. 2022 salary. His base salary is 17.8. The signing bonus, they paid it already. So they don't.
That ain't cheap. That ain't cheap.
It's not expensive. It's not like it's not.
It's a guy who played. What did he play? 4 games last year.
I know, but I'm saying if he's healthy, it's not an overpriced salary, is what I'm saying. It's not like oh my God, this is a ridiculous number. It's actually kind of in line, a decent salary for a starting franchise left tackle. Not bad.
Okay, and really? What's the asking price?
Oh well, that I don't know. They have a potential out in 2023 on the 3-year deal for an $8.3 million cap hit. So they would have to wait till next year in order to do it. But if they do it this year, the dead cap hit would be $26 million.
That's cut or trade?
That's the dead cap money. Okay. Now I think it might be even a little higher if you add the signing bonus. Because, as you said, it's the 3rd year, but he's only got 1 more year, the 2023. In 2024, he is an unrestricted free agent. So, you know what? They may think that they have to trade him because if he's not going to re-sign with them, and he is 28 years old this year, by the way. He's 28.
Still has value.
He still has value. That's what I'm saying. So, I don't think you can ask for multiple picks because of the salary. You probably can only ask for a first rounder. So do you give him the 20, what is it, 29?
29, yeah. I would give him 29. You're not getting a player like Larry Tunsil at 29.
Right. And you have $70 million, and you can open up you can open up another 10, 15 million more with certain players. So taking in that 17 million would not be a bad move for them because I like the fact that, I mean, most of the guys that I talk to in the league anyways think Eichenberg's a right tackle as it is. So you put Laramie at left, put Eichenberg at right tackle. You got Hunt, and then you're able to get, let's say, Lincoln at left guard, and then you draft the Boston College center, then maybe you're all right.
And you coach him up better.
Yeah. That's the thing. Do you think they'll coach him up better now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So do I.
And this is where Frank Smith comes in because if it was strictly Matt Applebaum, no offense to Matt Applebaum,
you're right.
Doesn't have a very extensive resume, whereas this is where Frank Smith comes in.
Right, and he's been good at it. So, yeah, I think I'm with you. I think this is going to be a real positive for the Miami Dolphins if they're able to do it. All right, what are you working on at Sports Illustrated so folks can check you out, my man?
Well, as I just indicated, I'm breaking down the pending free agents along with the likelihood of their return. Going to do it's that time of year, going to do the first mock draft roundup of 2022, which is a lot different when you're picking 6. It's a lot easier to like narrow down on a particular prospect as opposed to 29. Where
you know what the beauty of 29 is? Usually in these drafts, that if your team needs 3 or 4 positions or 5, usually 2 or 3 of those are available to you at 29 with a player you can make a discussion with. You can say, no, this guy can go at 29. This guy can go at 29. This guy can. So it becomes that much harder actually at 29 than it does at 6. You're so right. So right.
Yeah, no question. And then wouldn't shock me, and that's assuming they make the pick. It wouldn't shock me at all to see them trade out of the first round, pick up a couple more assets. I could see that happening. So those 2 things I'm working on, and then also we have the weekly mailbag.
There you go. A very popular segment there. Yes. Yes. So there you go. Send in your questions to the man. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL so you can send in your questions. And, of course, bookmark his Sports Illustrated page there for the Miami Dolphins. It's called, what is it again?
AllDolphins.com.
AllDolphins.com. There you go. I have it bookmarked. It's kind of like my cell phone. Like, I don't know anybody's number anymore. It's just the name. That's it. Like, it's terrible. I think outside of my wife and my daughter, I don't know anyone's cell number. No one. You know any cell numbers?
My wife's.
Right? Yeah, that's it. It's crazy. Different world. Different world. We remember everybody's Twitter handles, but not their cell phones. That's how it goes nowadays.
Yep.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Alain, as always, you're a stud, my brother. Appreciate you. We'll catch up next week.
Have a good weekend. Enjoy your time in New York.
Oh, I definitely will. Thank you, my friend. Be good. There you go. Alain Poupart, baby, and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.